once more meeting, reunion.
Very happy to be here. I don't know if His Holiness remembers, but in Rome, I gave His Holiness my yarmulke.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So I hope you still have it.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes it is useful.
So,
When I visit some, let's say, like Jerusalem, the Valley Wall,
yes.
or some visit to Jewish community, sometimes that useful. That's it. So I kept.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here, and I'm coming representing not Rabbi Marc Gafni, representing the state of Israel and the Jewish people, and it's an honor to be here. And on behalf of the state of Israel and the Jewish people, we want to thank you for receiving us in your home, and also the thousands of Israelis who are here in Dharamsala. All are aware of the visit, and they're very excited, and they feel greatly honored by His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, at having set up the interview. And we know that His Holiness is in the middle of writing a book. So in the morning he's writing the book, in the afternoon His Holiness is writing a book. So we appreciate during lunchtime giving us some time to do a real interview. Thank you very much. Now, the topic that we'd like to talk about today would be, how does the world of spirit shape, affect, change the real world of politics and economics? How does spirituality become not just a principle for the study hall, but actually something that actually, in a practical way, changes the world? And we have in our tradition a beautiful tradition in the Kabbalah that says to be sane is to be sane, to be normal, sane. Insane and sane. To be sane, to be a normal person, is to know reality. To be insane, crazy, is not to know reality. So the deep reality that we know from scientific tradition is that all people are connected. No one is separate. That separation is an illusion. And so when people say that to know spirit, that spiritual people are disconnected from reality, we think that's really not true. That really to be spiritual is to be connected to reality. So we thought about an idea we wanted to bring before you. What if at some point there were meetings, conferences, like the Dalai Lama has convened in the world, of local leaders, regional leaders, and international leaders who would get together for a week, 1 week a year, to do spiritual practice of any kind, so that when they negotiate, they actually feel the interconnectivity of reality. Right? It would be a different world. So when one world leader negotiates with a different world leader, after a week of doing shared spiritual practice, the world would be very different. And so we thought we could talk about today, and I brought our Gil Kopach to ask us the questions, because on television he gets better ratings than I do, right? So that perhaps he would ask us 6 or 7 questions, and in answering those questions, we could perhaps create an agenda for what a world conference of leaders might want to study together in terms of how spiritual principles could actually, in a practical way, make the world of politics and nations a better world. That's what we wanted to come and talk about today.
Oh, very important. Yes, very good.
Okay.
Very good topic.
Good topic. So we're off to a good start.
Okay, His Holiness, Honorable Rabbi Gafni. First question is, what does love mean, and how would you teach the spiritual and principal practices of love?
Of course, my knowledge, English, I think very superficial, so I don't know the exact meaning of love. But when I use this word, something very dear, very close, and not only closeness feeling, but also sense of concern, sense of respect. Now, for example, I love my watch, but there is no some kind of closeness feeling because this is mine, but not necessarily. This is some kind of the feeling of, I don't know, concern or feeling of sort of sharing the same experiences. So now, love towards usually the being who have the experience which I have, same experience, experience of pains and pleasure, and with that, according to my experience, I do not want suffering. So because of that, then respect the others, and therefore develop some kind of sense of concern and dear, very close, almost like part of myself, taking care. That's genuine love.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So that love or affection, I consider, of course, one level, I think we can describe that as one of the beautiful quality of human being and to some extent some other animals. And by nature, that is very necessary because for our own survival. I feel our first experience about the importance of love we learned from our mother. Just after birth, born. I think the first sort of, movement or activities, I think movement closer to the mother and receiving or sucking milk. At that moment, if child side or negative feeling towards mother, they will not go that way. Mother side also, I mean generally speaking, sometimes unfortunately unwanted child also sometimes is happening. Now generally speaking, so mother side also, you see, look the child as a part of mother's own body. So very close. With that feeling, then take, even though you see, they are sometimes quite troublesome, some small child, but mother, you see, really, you see, take every care. So that, in reality, necessity for survival. So I feel, because you see, our existence, our beginning of our life, through that way, so the affection become part of our life, very important element or very important factor at the beginning of our life, and that I think essentially goes till our death. Although the other negative emotions also part of our mind, like hatred, anger, jealousy, these things, but I think one dominant emotion whole our life, I consider love, affection. These are very important.
Thank you.
So, old tradition talks about importance of love, compassion, forgiveness, these things. So that's my view.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. I want, after each question, to share, just from Kabbalah, from Hebrew tradition, a commentary on His Holiness's words of wisdom. In Hebrew tradition, we say, love is not an emotion, that love is a perception. It's a way of seeing. So the Kabbalah says that to love is to see through God's eyes. And God is God, or sunyata, or ayin, the same thing. So that to love someone is to see them in their most beautiful and high place. Everyone falls. Everyone has moments of terrible, terrible pain